It's time for the absolutely... I'm on my way! Completely! I'm almost there! Random! Why are there so many stairs? Podcast! Oh, jeez! With Andrew Rhodes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the absolutely completely random podcast for Saturday, January 2nd, 2021. I'm your host, Andrew Rhodes, as always, here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. I'd like to welcome everybody into the first Saturday of the new year. It's already not looking too good, folks. The shitometer is already getting pretty damn close to the red line. I don't know if it's going to hold. We're liable to go completely blue before the end of this year. Hell, we're liable to go into the red zone and be royally screwed, go down to DEFCON 1 before the freaking end of the month at this rate. But never mind that. The world around us might be crumbling, but you're here for something else. I know. You're here for my dry, witty banter, my lovely, raspberry voice. Okay, you're here to listen to me talk about stuff that I found throughout the week. So let's not disappoint you any further, and let's get down to business. Let's get down to brass balls here. So what am I going to be talking about? Once again, MariCar strikes my newsfeed. Yes, that's right. Only this time, the Japanese Supreme Court has sided with Nintendo. Oh! I think that might be the final blow in MariCar's coffin. And not soon enough, it was. Toonami has released a documentary, Toonami Faithful released a documentary about how anime has affected a lot of people. It's actually pretty good, but I haven't seen the whole thing. It's like an hour and a half long, so it's not bad. Dragon Quest speedrunners are roasting their classic consoles alive to basically get a good speedrun. Now, look, I'm all for speedrunning, but dear God. A college student has put $80,000 towards school, all thanks to their Pokemon card collection. I can't wait to give you my thoughts on that. And hey, anybody out there a huge fan of anime that wants to help a celebrity out? Well, apparently Jim Belushi was asking you for your anime recommendations. Hell, I even gave a couple. I'm not joking. It was actually quite fun. All this and more this week on the absolutely completely random podcast. But of course, before we get into that song and dance, you know this song and dance, I'm sure. So without any further ado, if you're looking for trading cards, oddities, weird stuff, what have you throughout the internet, why not swing on by my eBay page, ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. I have a wide variety of stuff for sale, from trading cards, DVDs, video games, action figures, just a bunch of miscellaneous junk. And one person's trash is another person's treasure. Because why not? This is a worldwide garage sale, and in this day and age, you ain't going to an actual garage sale. Your best bet's to ship the stuff out and sell it online. So while you're perusing the internet, while you're checking out your GoWitties and your UBeaties and whatever the hell else it is you hip kids are down with, I'm going to fire whoever wrote that. Why not check out my page? That's ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. You can also follow me over on Twitter, @OtakeRose. And hey, don't forget, check me out over on Facebook under the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page. And while you're here on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and, hang out. It's always fun hanging out with my fans, and, it's fun to get to know more people. Besides, it's not often I get to talk about stuff and have a lot of people paying attention to me. Doesn't happen always, but it's nice when it does. Alright, so let's do this. How'd my week go? As all of you know, of course, 2020 came to an end Thursday evening into Friday morning at 12 a.m. Friday. Though technically I always believe it to be 12:01 a.m. because you're always going to have that minute differential, at least the way I see it. But then again, what the hell do I know? That's a rant video in itself. Anyway, when midnight struck, the year changed. We're now in the year 2021. All hail 2021! Yay, fun, whatever. Yeah, so my week went somewhat well. I worked on Monday, ended up getting off on Wednesday, and I worked this morning, so that was cool. When the new year struck, my mom and I found out that Eureka is now on the Roku channel, so we've been binge watching that, which is actually kind of cool. I watched Eureka before when it was on Sci-Fi, and my mom just finished watching it on Peacock, so we're binge watching it together now on the Roku channel, and I do like Eureka. It's actually one of the good shows that Sci-Fi had. They pissed it away, though, horribly. They pissed that show straight to hell, and it never recovered. Season 5 was the weakest of the entire series, and you could just tell the actors were phoning it in. I mean, you could tell it. I was telling that to my mom. I'm like, yeah, when you get to season 5, you're going to tell that the actors were phoning it in. She's like, when she hit season 5, like 3 episodes in, she's like, oh yeah, they were phoning it in. It's definite. But that was Friday and today we found that out, so that's kind of fun. Monday was okay. Nothing really exciting happened. Tuesday was dull. Though we had to change our plans around a bit because apparently on Tuesday, the laundromat we go to was going to be closed for some building maintenance, so my mom had to do laundry on Monday, so I had to kind of rush home from work, which was fun. I mean, I hit every green light. This is a freaking first. I think I made it home in just about 15, 20 minutes, and that is a first for me. Because it's usually like a good half an hour. I made it home like 15, 20 minutes, and I hit every freaking green light. I was going the speed limit, and I hit every green light. That tells you something. But that was, of course, that was Monday. Tuesday was dull. Wednesday was annoying. Thursday was still, of course, the end of the year. Friday was meh, and then this morning was just meh. Today's just been one of those sort of days. But yeah, otherwise, this week's been kind of dull as shit. I am going to start trying to get some more stuff up on eBay. Possibly have to... I kind of want to get rid of some of my excess stuff, just in case things go south. As many of you know, here with my mom and I, then we don't have as much stuff to take with us. So there is that. I've been looking around for another job, so that's, of course, not helping things out. It's not that I don't like my job, which I love my job. I love my job a lot. There, I said that, so it sounds a little more legitimate. No, I've been trying to look for something a little better, to kind of help out, just in case shit hits the fan, as a lot of you know. If not, look back in October. I put a couple videos up, so there is that. But, yeah, so things just are not going that great right now. It's one of those we're in a constant flux, and it bugs the hell out of me that we're in that. But yeah. But anyway, let me know how your weeks went. Let me know how your New Year's went in the comment section. I look forward to that. But above all else, let's dive into the podcast, shall we? Because this is going to be one hell of a week. Alright, once again, MariCar is back in the limelight. Of course, the ever-continuing saga, like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of your lives. Well, as the internet constantly hears the click, so is the story of MariCar. And I'm literally just use Days of Our Lives as an example. I swear to God, if I get copyright struck for saying that, I mean, come on. It's been out for how many freaking years now? Days of Our Lives sucks. I used to watch it, but not anymore. But anyway, MariCar. For those of you that are completely in the dark about what in the hell I'm talking about, boy, did you miss some fun. MariCar was a go-kart-esque touring thing over in Japan where you could rent a go-kart, drive around the streets dressed as Mario characters. And they received several notices from Nintendo of, you shut your ass down because you're infringing on our copyright. Their intellectual properties and everything else. And MariCar tried taking them on. They changed their name to, I think it was Streetcar. Yeah, it was not a good way to go here. And it's freaking horrible, honestly. Was it Streetcar? I think it changed its name to. Yeah, street cart. A street cart. That's right. You all should remember my discussion of that in the podcast. That was an interesting, that'd be an interesting waste of money. But anyway, for a few years, though, Nintendo and Mario Mobility Development Incorporated, they've been duking it out. It's basically been a boxing match to last the ages. Well, in the legal ring, anyway. Because Mario Mobility owns MariCar, the Mario Kart-esque tourist attraction that was in Tokyo and Osaka. And for those of you that don't realize this, yes, this was an actual thing. You can imagine the issues that would arise from this, and every single one of them happened, from accidents to slowing in or stopping of traffic, all sorts of issues, which is kind of the basis of this entire argument to begin with. And of course, here we are again. So you'd be able to wear like Nintendo outfits while driving a go-kart-esque sort of deal, and yeah, it's not really a good thing. Nintendo's initial fears, though, according to Sora News 24, were not the money it was losing, because you figure Nintendo's making money hand over fist with the Switch and, all their other properties at the time. It's like, yeah, no, we're not upset about the money. We're upset at the fact that you're doing this. Yeah. It was something of off-brand, but the fact that people could get hurt and that would make Nintendo look bad. Not the fact that my Wii remote can fly out of my hand and smash a TV, or the Virtual Boy made me go blind. None of those are freaking bad publicity, but God forbid people dress up as Mario characters and, drive around in a go-kart. All of a sudden, Nintendo's evil. Sure, we'll go with that. I mean, in all honesty, Nintendo has some weak arguments in this, and they always have, but at the same time, Mario Mobility really did not present this as a good thing. You could smell issues a mile away, so it's sort of that give and take and the ebb and flow that they're screwed, they just don't want to admit how screwed they are. So, this doesn't bode well. A few years of legal battles, back and forth. On December 25th, Christmas Day no less, the Supreme Court of Japan sided with Nintendo against Mario Mobility, blocking the latter's appeal. So in other words, now Mario Mobility is deeply, deeply fucked. So previously, the District Court of Tokyo had said MariCar could keep their name, but they had to pay Nintendo money and make it clear they were not Nintendo. Well, no shit. It's basically like those third-party cheating apps where it's like, oh, you can buy this device to, game break your game, but Nintendo does not endorse this. No shit. So later, another court ordered the name change, and MariCar changed the name to Street Cart. But of course, it suffered from the outbreak of COVID, loss of tourism, in addition to the legal woes. Many, many, many legal woes. Super Nintendo World, though, for those of you interested, does in fact have its own version of Mario Kart that you can actually enjoy legally and safely. This, though, I'm not going to argue with the middle of this. I will say that I don't think Mario Mobility took the safety precaution aspect into reality. They saw, let's, let them dress up as Mario characters, put it out there, and see what happens. And at first I thought, oh, this sounds really cool, and I was siding with them. But then the more you dig into Mario Mobility and all this entire nightmare, then the more you realize that they were screwing people to the wall. They were practically going, yeah, I don't think so. And just flat out, screwing people straight to the wall and being a slimy business in general. And God knows that they were a slimy business. I mean, we all remember the street cart thing. You can look them up. It's honestly not a good thing. So, of course, with all of this bullshit, and I mean all of this bullshit, it's just, freaking horrible. And it's honest to God. I mean, I can understand the issue. I mean, you have these go-karts. There's no real protection on them. There's like a really shitty seatbelt. They're actually traveling with actual cars. There's a safety hazard in this that honestly should not be ignored. And I think MariCar just looked at this like, well, we'll be fine. Nobody's gonna pay attention to us. You're dressed as Mario characters driving around the capital of Japan. I'm sorry. Somebody's gonna take notice of this. And that's my argument of Mario Mobility and MariCar was in the wrong. For Nintendo, we're more worried about us being, frowned upon and this hurting us, our reputation, making us look bad. No, you do a good enough job of that on your own with, here's the Nintendo Switch, and, we're getting rid of the 3DS, but hey, here's the Switch Lite. It's basically the Switch without the ability to remove the Joy-Cons. Or, hey, here's the Nintendo Wii and a really crappy wrist, holder that snaps off and your remote control can smash your TV. Or better yet, like I said earlier, here's the Virtual Boy that after looking into this thing for a couple minutes, you're gonna go blind. That's just Nintendo's family-friendly way. We'll make you go blind. Then years later, when your descendants are, playing with the Wii that you used the money from the possible legal suit that you took against us for it, they'll smash and destroy the TV. Then their descendants or their, kids will have themselves a Nintendo Switch to play for the money that they got from, the lawsuit after they electrocuted themselves to take said remote out of the TV. All that possibility brought to you by the family-friendly Nintendo. And, of course, I can see Nintendo's issue with this, with the whole, we can't have anything that could make us look bad. You don't want a bad reputation to come about. I mean, remember when Pokemon Go came out and everybody's, buying Nintendo stock thinking that Nintendo had a hand in this, and Nintendo actually had to come out and say, look, we love the attention, but we did not do this game. And everything bottomed out. It was that simple. I can understand the bad reputation following them, because how many issues did Pokemon Go have when it first came out? Nintendo quickly went on the defensive, like, we did not do this game, we had nothing to do with this game, so people distanced themselves from thinking that Nintendo had anything to do with it. Shortly after, all the issues start coming out. People getting hurt, robbed, injured, deaths. Yeah, all this crap comes out, and Nintendo took the right approach of look, as much as we love the attention, we didn't do anything in this. We're being honest. We did nothing. They could have rode that train it's our property. They have a right to pay us. Yeah. But they didn't. But as far as MariCar goes, this is honest to God. I can understand it being a safety hazard because there were accidents. One of the cars, if I remember right, actually went into a building. There was one that I think actually did get involved in another accident. And all of this is putting Mario Mobility, MariCar, the people in danger. And they look at this like, I get it. You're looking at it like it's a fun little adventure. Let's live out your video game fantasy. But at the end of the day, safety is a main priority. That's where I would have been more concerned of, look, we have safety. I would have struck a deal with Nintendo, and I would have said, hey, let's get this thing working together. Let's, we want to license the Mario characters and rent a track or something and put them there. But it's we want to let them drive through the city. That's where I kind of would have had my issues at right off the bat. I would have been no. I would have rented a track and did it there. Then you could actually have races and see who can beat each other. It's a literal Mario Kart race and dressed as Mario characters. You could live out the game in reality. I would have tried striking a deal with that, but of course, no, that's not really gonna work. Or found a location, built a little track in the back, and then they can drive the car from the front of the building to the back of the building, and then they can, interact there. But of course, no, we want to drive them through the city, and that was where the issue lied. And a lot of people I agree with a lot of the complaints, a lot of the fears. I really do. But this is just one of those, as much as I want to say at the end of the day, I'm kind of glad this is starting to get settled and that it's going to get taken care of. I'm sad that a good idea is being destroyed, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad people aren't subjecting themselves to something that could possibly kill them or hurt them. And I'm on the fence with this just for those two reasons. At first, I was all excited. I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds really cool. And I was, rooting for them to beat Nintendo. But then the more, like I said, you look into this and it's like, yeah, no, I've kind of changed my mind. Look, I mean, Nintendo's in the wrong here for flipping the hell out. I would have just tried striking a deal with them instead of just flat out suing their ass. Strike a deal, say, look, we want to fix this up. We're going to make you guys in charge of this. We'll find a track to do this. It'll be officially sponsored by Nintendo. We cut the profits 50-50. Everything works. Then when Super Nintendo World would have opened, then I would have looked at them and said, hey, look, you guys went in on this. Super Nintendo World, bigger amount of money. You guys will make a crap ton more. We split this. We have this little track for people that don't want to go to Super Nintendo World, that just want to do this. And the ones that want to do it at Super Nintendo World, we get a little more money going. Instead, it's, oh no, we're just going to sue your ass. Copyright, intellectual property, you're going to make us look bad. Nintendo was in the wrong a bit on that. I mean, they want to protect their IP, that's fine. I have no argument with that at all. They could have and should have tried to strike a deal, in my opinion. But Mari Mobility really didn't look at the safety aspects. So it's like I'm on the fence with both of these. And that's where it is right now. But this is the next exciting installment of it. So let's see what's going to happen. And what the hell part are we up to now? Part 7? Part 7 or 8 of this wonderful story. Let's see what'll happen in part 9. Somebody's obviously going to be going to jail, I guess. Or getting fined. I don't know which, but oh boy, I can't wait for part 9 to come out. Wow, this is going to be fun, isn't it? So like a good chunk of you, I started off in the shallow end of the pool with anime. I saw snippets on random channels that might have gotten a license for Sailor Moon or Dragon Ball Z. Maybe some obscure anime that you didn't actually know was anime, like Samurai Pizza Cats or, something in general. But of course, like a lot of you, I assume, my dive into the deep end of the anime pool was with Toonami. Wholeheartedly was it with Toonami, a new cartoon show. Yeah, when they brought anime onto that, whoo, baby, it was a good day to be a fan of anime. So, this is actually pretty cool. So on Monday, this past Monday, the folks over at Toonami Faithful, I guess it was, put up a Toonami documentary. What Toonami means to me, it comes from the folks at long-standing fan site and programming block resource Toonami Faithful, who have put together a feature-length documentary on how Toonami impacted certain anime fans. I haven't actually had a chance to watch this. You can actually pull it up on YouTube, by the way. It is on their official YouTube page. Both on their YouTube and Facebook page. You can actually watch the documentary. I started it. I just haven't had a chance to actually sit down and finish it. It's just an hour and a half long. I'm not even joking. It's an hour and a half long. I just haven't had a chance to actually sit down and watch it. It's actually pretty impressive, though, that they did this. So why did the block strike a chord with so many people? Toonami Faithful aims to answer that question by speaking with others who found inspiration in the block, including those who went on to work in the TV and anime industries as a result of their exposure to Toonami, which is actually really cool. Like I said, you can check it out on the official Toonami Faithful YouTube channel and on their Facebook page. Link to both are actually in the article, by the way, so I don't even have to put a link in the description. Because links are in the article provided, so that's actually pretty cool. But yeah, I would recommend checking this out. It actually seems pretty cool, but it's like I said, it's an hour and a half long. Otherwise, I would have watched it, but holy crap, I mean, It's like an hour and a half long, in general. But still, it's pretty cool, though, to see a full-length documentary. And this isn't one that's done, like, by professionals. This is one that's done by fans. Because it's the long-standing fan site, Toonami Faithful, that actually did this. It's not like this was made by Toonami. It wasn't greenlit by William Street Studios or Adult Swim or anything. This was done by fans who track down fans of Toonami that have jobs in the anime industry and in television. That's impressive. Like I said, it's like an hour and a half long. I don't want to stress that too much, but that is the main selling point in this. It's an hour and a half. It's a documentary made by fans that's an hour and a half long. That's impressive. I'm not even joking on here. But on the official tweet, which, by the way, also has a link to the, video, it says, over the years, fans have been inspired by hashtag Toonami to love art and follow their dreams. For some, that dream was to be on Toonami. What Toonami means to me, a full-length documentary about how the Toonami generation is part of the anime industry today. It premiered on December 28th, and honestly, I'm looking forward to watching this. I really am. But still, this is impressive. For starters, it opens up a massive amount of questions that you'll probably get answers to. You'll learn a lot more, and honestly, like I said, it's an hour and a half long documentary made by fans of Toonami. What else can you say here? I mean, people keep telling me that, oh, well, Toonami's a joke anymore, and this and that. And it's like, no, it's not a joke. If you have fans like this proves it's not a joke. And I'm sorry if I pause a little bit. I'm swallowing a bit of water I have up here. I have with me, so I'm just getting a little sip of water. I apologize. But yeah, I mean, this is actually pretty impressive. If you get a chance to watch it, I recommend it. I mean, this is pretty cool. But still, you have to admit, that is one sweet idea to have that as a documentary. That's pretty damn cool. Wholeheartedly, that is neat. Seriously. Alright, so I'm sure a lot of you know what speedrunning is. It's basically completing a game as quickly as you can to try to get a world record, sometimes just fame and acclamation, sometimes it's just even a level, not the whole game. I mean, hell, look at, was it Doom? If you can get past the one level in Doom like really fast, that's noteworthy. So of course, this has led to a lot of competitions amongst other speedrunners. I know that Penguin Z0 had the world record for Mr. Krabs overdoses on ketamine and dies, and then it was taken away from him. Not because he cheated or anything, somebody managed to beat him. And he's going to try to get it back. Which, good luck to you, Charlie. I have the utmost faith you're going to do that. I really do. But, of course, this also brings about, how are these speedrunners doing this? Well, Dragon Quest speedrunners, in this case, are roasting their classic consoles to trigger glitches. They're roasting consoles. So a group of Japanese speedrunners have discovered that the key to getting faster times in all-time RPG classic Dragon Quest III is to literally control the temperature of their Famicom systems with hot plate and ice packs. Yeah, you heard that right. In order to get the highest, glitch you can get and get the really fast times, ice packs and hot plates. Oh boy. So Dragon Quest III, like many role-playing games, is long. RPGs are not known for being short, otherwise they would suck. Which makes sense. Playing through the game regularly can take dozens of hours. Yeah, it's an RPG. You gotta get every single item, take on every single enemy, get yourself up to the max level, max out everything you can, all for the wonderful glory that is taking upon the mantle of I 100%ed this bitch. Of course, it never happens, but still. And even the fastest speedrunners typically took over an hour before a major bug was found in August of 2020. That's right, a major bug. By following a series of steps that include saving the game and quickly toggling the Famicom's power switch while holding the reset button, the game will restart in a glitch state that, if exploited correctly, maxes out the entire party's stats. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Apparently, if you do this glitch really quickly, this whole set of events, which is basically toggling off the Famicom's power switch after quickly saving the game and holding the reset button, the game will restart in a glitch state. That's impressive. But since the glitch's discovery, though, Dragon Quest III speedrunners have used it to complete the lengthy game faster than ever. Japanese player Hitchi posted a time of 22 minutes 48 seconds in November before pushing his time down to 22:22 earlier in the month, which is last month, by the way. His secret? Cranking up his Famicom's temperature, usually in the 50 degrees Celsius or 122 degrees Fahrenheit range. And also sometimes as high as 80 degrees Celsius or 176 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to say that again. 122 degrees Fahrenheit to 176 degrees Fahrenheit for a Famicom. You're roasting the hardware on this bitch to get a faster time. It's impressive, but damn. It's mostly to improve his chances of getting the glitch to work properly, which is terrifying. According to a recent report, though, by Denfa Miniko Gamer, players have found that initiating the Dragon Quest III glitch can be manipulated by several external factors, including which model of Famicom they are using and the temperature of the console, which can make the internal memory more volatile. Yes, it can also deep fry your console and brick the son of a bitch. But sure, we'll go with this. So speedrunners like Hitchi and Pirohiko use heat-generating devices like hot plates, for instance, while another player named Baku_0 has employed ice packs to cool his Famicom. And there's actually pictures, by the way, in case you're wondering. There's actually pictures. At least of the ice pack. I don't know. I don't really want to see a picture of you melting your goddamn freaking thing. You're putting aluminum foil between your hot plate and this system, right? I've seen how hot a hot plate can get. You're putting aluminum foil in between, right? To kind of like be a buffer a bit, but not completely suck the heat away. No? Oh, well, that sucks. But over the weekend, Hitchi, Pirohiko, Baku_0, and a fourth player named Lime participated in a Dragon Quest III race during a speedrunning event. They all used the on-off bug, and as far as they can tell, at least Hitchi and Pirohiko used hot plates, while with the latter setting a new world record of 22:07. It's unclear if the temperature of the Famicom was crucial to achieving this feat, but you're sure to argue, though, with the extensive experimentation some of these players have put into the strategy. But I do like this. Don't worry, Hitchi wrote on Twitter in response to worried commenters. I'm playing with a safety check. I've never broken an NES console, and it's not as dangerous as you might think. If the unit does break, I'm quick to repair it. Even if you don't think it's worth it, it's important research and presentation for us. So, you're willing to destroy your console, bring it back from the dead, and do it again just for a speedrun. Look, I've seen some excessive speedrunners before. There are some that are obsessed with this. This, I kind of feel Just a little too obsessive. Just a wee bit, a little too obsessive. You're using, I remember we had a computer here years ago before I replaced it because it finally crapped out and died on us. It wouldn't turn on at all. It would turn on, but we would never get anything. We actually had to cool that thing down. I had to actually put ice packs on it in the summertime because it overheated that badly. And I had plugged in an extra internal fan to help suck a lot of the hot air out, to try to cool it down a lot faster, to really try to help it out. I put in another fan, but we still put ice packs on it. It looked stupid, but we did it, and it did work for the longest time. It helped to cool it down. And, it did work. But at the end of the day, it looked stupid, and you were actually causing a little more harm. But for you to get through the afternoon, like, here, I got to check some stuff up online, and it's, like, really hot out, it worked. And for those of you out there wondering, no, I don't have air conditioning. So, right there's your answer. I don't have air conditioning. But still, it's not as dumb as it sounds, because I've done the cooling thing with a computer. But this is a game console, first off. Second off, it's an old game console. Old being the key phrase here. Like, you're freaking trying to tempt fate with this. That's insanity. Oh, I'm taking all safety precautions. Yeah, I can understand chilling it down with ice. It's like I said, I did that with our desktop. I kind of see that being fine. I don't see, and I want to stress this part, I don't see the using a hot plate as a viable idea. Just a thought. I don't know. Maybe I'm insane. Maybe this is the new hip thing, possibly brick our system. Let's hope it doesn't, like, deep fry itself or something. All for a speed running score. Yeah, okay, sure, we'll go with that for 100. I'd rather not see you destroy a console, but hey, what the hell do I know, right? Nah, I'd be out on this in like a freaking hot minute. I don't know what to say about it. I really don't. I really don't. I know a lot of you will go to many lengths and you'll find glitches and exploits, but I understand turning it off and turning it back on while hitting the reset button. You're forcing it to create the glitch. The fact that you're forcing it to either get super hot or chilling it, honestly, is what worries me. That would be like me taking a PlayStation 2, the slim one, sticking an ice pack on that just to make it run better. I've had 3 PS2s in my life, and all 3 of them broke. That tells you something. Yeah, this is going to make the utmost sense. I don't fucking think so, but still, what the hell do I know, right? I'm just a simpleton. I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. What the hell do I know? Except for, common sense would tell you that this is a stupid idea! But I don't know. It might be worth it to you. It's not really worth it to me. I don't really have anything else to add to this. It's just... oh, God. Alright, and once again, we're back to the wonderful world of trading cards. And a person, in this case a college student, that has put $80,000 towards their dream school thanks to Pokemon cards. Look, you're not going to hear me argue that investing in trading cards isn't a bad idea. But if you're going to suddenly do this just because this person's getting rich off of it, let me explain something to you. There's a huge difference between you and him. There you go. And it really bothers me that you have articles and news outlets that will report on this and make it seem like, oh my God, they're getting rich off of this. Their situations are different than yours. Trust me. 100% different. So you never know which one of your seemingly wasteful hobbies will eventually turn around and earn you much needed scratch. In the case of one Caleb King, a college student studying at the University of North Georgia, his vice was Pokemon cards growing up, and now they're going to help him pay his way through school. Yeah. By the way, for those of you out there wondering, apparently these cards are graded, so that makes a huge difference. It really freaking does. In the long scheme of things. In the short scheme of things, he's going to lose more money than he's probably going to earn. So hold that thought. So Fox 5 Atlanta ran the story of this poor guy whose parents initially disapproved of him spending his money on Pokemon cards all those years ago. While he invested about $4,000 in the hobby, I think I might have him beating Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Maybe. Over the years, since he started selling his high-end cards, again, there's issue 2, high-end cards. He's already managed to pull in over $80,000. His ultimate goal is to help pay for school and make his way to medical school, where he aims to start the journey towards becoming an orthopedic surgeon. Okay. As for his sales, he's not done yet. He still has a bunch of big-time cards in his possession. It estimates he could fetch somewhere in the neighborhood. Okay, in the neighborhood. We talking a couple blocks off, or are we talking smack dab in front of Mr. Rogers here? I'm just curious. Neighborhood of an additional $50,000 via auctions. Yeah. Okay, so here's my thoughts on this. I want to stress this one again. They're graded cards. For you to get a card graded, you have to spend the money to send it to a grading company. They charge you a fee for that. For them to send back a thing, give it a grade, and then that's what your grade is. They stick it inside of a container, and that's it. The card can never be pulled out again. That's the end of it. You're literally selling these cards then to high-end collectors. Whereas, let's say you have a shoebox full of these sons of bitches. They're not going to get the same amount of money as a high-end graded card will, because the high-end collectors that have the $100 to $250 to drop per card are going to want graded for their money and effort, and that's the problem. So this article literally telling you, oh, well, your hobby can basically help you pay for school or pay for your dream home. It's not gonna help you. You're gonna make money. I want to stress that first off. If you have, I have a crap ton of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I got a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards. I actually do have some Pokemon cards too. You'll get something for those. They're not entirely worthless. The thing is, you're not going to get $80,000. Your situation and your circumstances are a lot different than his. He's only selling his high-end cards. Most trading card sellers will tell you this. I myself included. If you have a shit ton of common cards, putting them up at $1 a piece or anything up to $1 is common practice. If you're doing it on eBay, your best bet's $1, but you're putting up 1 to 3 of them. You might put 2 copies up for $1 or 3 copies up for $1, because the common cards you can get everywhere. It's not like a rare or a holofoil or a reverse rare or an ultimate rare or a ghost rare. It's common. The common cards are worth crap. The higher end ones, which would be your extremely rares, your hard to get your hands on, those are the ones that'll net you a little more money. But at the same time, if you're not getting them graded, the people that are basically buying them are going to be taking a risk. And they're going to go, well, this might not be a grade 9, but the price is right, only for them to get it, and it's damaged in the transit, and it's oh, well, now it's a grade 5. Because that's all they see is the grade, and that's the sad part about it. But it costs you money to get them graded. That adds up. Let me actually pull it up. How much does it cost? I'm going to go with Beckett. because I remember looking them up before. BCKE Beckett grading. Thank you. I'm just curious here, because I know they have a submission form. You can pull it up online. It's real simple. Just Google search them. I know they had a thing in here for how much it costs, because you need to pay them. It's even here in the submission rules. Payment options. Credit card, money orders, and personal checks. All payments must be in U.S. currency. Payments are verified by telecheck. I'm trying to find if they had like an actual amount here, because I remember seeing it, or I probably just pulled it up on the. I probably pulled it up in the PDF. So hold on. Standard submission. Oh no, gaming card submission form. Let's try that. Gaming card submission form. I just want to pull up, because I know that there's a price on here. It gives you an idea here. Okay, here we go. Okay, grading card submission form. You have like your name, where you want to send it to, your name, account number, submission form number, Beckett use only, blah blah blah. Okay, here we go. Fees. There are a list of fees. Here we go. Standard. Can I zoom in here at all? Yes, I can. Okay, there it is. Okay, grading options and turnaround. Cost is per card, and you got to check one box only. So basically, if you want the premium, okay, the premium, no subs graded or no subgrades, you're looking at $125 a card. Per card. Okay? Per card. Or $50 per card. If you want the Express, okay? The Express is $100 a card or $40 a card. Then you have the Standard. The Standard is definitely different. And remember, you're paying per card. This isn't like, per pack of cards. This is per card. So let's say that you have 100 plus high-end cards, and you want to do the Standard. That's $25 a card to get them graded. That's $125 a card. Okay? 51 to 99 cards, the top end is $30, and if you only have like one card to 50 cards, it's $35. The economy one, if you have like 100 plus, that's $15 a card. The thing is, it adds up. It honestly does. You're already up to, if you actually figure this out, if you have exactly 100 cards at $15 a card, that's already, okay, $1,500. $1,500. And if those cards, if not one of them comes back like a 6 or higher, you're never going to recoup that. And that's a huge loss. And Beckett, like I said, was the first one that came to my mind. They're like one of the first 3 that you think of. And it costs a crap ton of money. Then you have to pay return postage and everything else. None of this, by the way, okay, none of this guarantees you're going to sell a crap ton. So, while I commend the kid, and I commend this person tremendously for, turning your hobby and investing in it. I made the comment back in high school and was laughed at and ridiculed by my class. They can all bite me at this point. But you're going to lose a crap ton of money if you're thinking, oh, I'll just go and get them graded, then I'll sell them. If you have X amount of cards, you're going to lose your ass on the grading fees alone. So then to avoid that, you're going to want to put them up, ungraded. Of course, that opens up the can of worms of, well, I don't want to pay top price for this, because the majority of the prices that you get for these cards are usually the graded prices, because that's what the collectors and the system use to figure out the price, is the graded price. So you're already never going to get the full amount of money. If you sell, like, let me use Yu-Gi-Oh! Again as an example. Let's say that I had an entire tin filled to the brim with ultimate rares. And I mean, we're talking ultimate rares, like the original ones straight through, and each one of them I could sell for just maybe $30 a card. Okay? You can usually get just about 100 to 110 cards in one of the tins, depending on the tin and the size. You get like 100 to 110 cards. Comfortably, mind you. It'd be a little tight, though, but you can get some in there. That adds up to a whopping good chunk of cheese. But the problem is, you run the risk of A, collectors not wanting to pay $30 a pop for them. B, a lot of cards get reprinted, which is the other issue. You have cards that will always be reprinted. Like Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Magic Gathering. Every trading card game suffers this, where the cards will get reprinted. That drives down the value of the original card. Because now it's, do I want to spend $5,000 to get the holographic foil card that I've seen since my childhood? Or do I want to spend $5 and get the reprinted version that I can get and have today and not be out $5,000? Sure, it's the same card that I drooled over as a kid. It's the exact same thing. This one's holographic, that one's holographic. This one was printed like 3 months ago. That one was printed 10 years ago. What's the difference here? The price. You want to pay $5,000 for one card, whereas you can pay $5 for the same card that was reprinted. And that drives down the value of the higher end cards, especially the older they are, because they get reprinted. Look at Gearfried the Swordmaster for Yu-Gi-Oh! That came out in Flaming Eternity. I remember, my God, do I remember buying pack after pack of that card, that booster pack, to try to get that card. I've managed to get it. I'm not going to lie. It was a Thursday night. The last pack Walmart had, I bought it out in the car. My mom's driving home. I'm opening the pack, and I was shocked I got Gearfried the Swordmaster. I was happy. In fact, I still have that card. But then that brings in the other issue. A lot of these cards will start to get wear and damage to them along the sides. It's cardstock. It's paper. It degrades over time. If you stick it in something that's airtight and sealed, you're still not guaranteeing that it's going to survive. UV light will kill it. The sun's rays will kill it. The lights from your damn house and room will kill it. Stuff kills it over time. And that's my main beef with a lot of this. When you have these news stories and all the time, first off, congratulations, you're getting $80,000. Kudos to you. I really do mean that. But the news story that's basically, this is going to have people that are going to go out now, dig through their closets, pull out their old cards, plop them up on eBay, and they're going to saturate the market with them. And right there, you screwed yourself from being able to make your estimated $50,000. Because now the market's going to be saturated. Because I guarantee you, somebody out there has been sitting on cards longer than you that is looking at this and going, time to sell them, the market's good, and bam, oversaturation. Because where there's one, there's thousands. And then you have oversaturation of the market. Now, the ultimate rares and the extremely, valuable, there's like maybe 5 of these printed per set, they're now worth less money. Okay, the limit, like 5 per set would probably be worth a little more. But like, let's say out of like 100 sets that are printed, let's say maybe 20 per 100 sets. Those are now going to start dropping in value because more of them are out on the market. And this brings in the other things. Since a lot of auctions are online, people are literally buying these to turn and burn them, which is the other problem. Because now you're turning and burning. You're buying it from person A, holding it for like a day or two, and then selling it to person B for a profit off of what you paid person A. I do the same thing on eBay. I'll buy like a huge lot of cards or a huge lot of something, and I will piece it the fuck out. And, it's like, this is why I bought it. I bought it to piece it out. I didn't buy it to add. I bought it to piece out. Maybe a couple cards might find their way into my collection because I think they're cool. But a majority of them are literally here to turn and burn. I'm here to put them, to have them for a second and put them right back out into the world for somebody else to enjoy. That's what there's a lot of people, but I do that. There are a lot of people that'll do that. And when they find out that, hey, these cards are worth a crap ton of money, they'll look at them and go, that's it. And they'll buy them on eBay, turn and burn them, and then what started off as, oh, well, I sold it for this much, now it's skyrocketed to this much, which causes the whole cycle to begin again. That's the problem. When news articles like this come out, that creates the whole problem. It's a giant circle. Eventually, it'll weed itself down to nothing, where it'll flatline. Where all of a sudden it's like, look, I don't want to spend $500-600 for a freaking magic carp. That's when the gaming people that are behind the games, they'll reprint the cards. Because they'll go, hey, there's a crap ton of money floating around for this. Maybe we should reprint this, throw it in a couple of packs, and we'll net ourselves some more money. Then that kills the value of the older card because now it's reprinted. Now it's out there in more droves, which is saturating the market, and you're screwed. So what you just spent $5,000 on is barely worth $500. Do you see how this works? It's literally the ebb and flow of screwed mixed together, dry humping itself. And that's the problem. I don't mind people selling their trading cards. I do that with myself too. I sell my trading cards off to get some extra money. But when news articles report on this, they're not helping. Oh, well, we think this is a really good story. Yeah, and I, as a trading card seller and as a trading card collector, wish you would have stayed the fuck out of this. Because the minute the media got involved, the minute the newscasters got this news story, that's it. Because the second it airs, market's going to get saturated with them. Because everybody's going to see it. Everybody's going to start plopping up. It's not that difficult to make an eBay listing. It takes like 5 minutes. Boom. That's it. It's done. The next thing you know, you're up SOL Creek without a paddle. Seriously. And there's the issue where it lies. I don't really know how else to say it. It's a pain in the ass. It's annoying. I don't like when media gets involved with this. I don't mind people selling cards. Occasionally, you do have that neat little, hey, I just sold a crap ton of my old Pokemon cards that were worth a crap ton of money for, this much. I'm going to put it towards this. That's fine. But when the media is basically blowing this out of proportion with the whole, oh, look, these cards are worth a crap ton of money, that's clickbaited people into checking the article out, which is making them think they can do it too. And there's your problem where it starts. Again and again and again and again and again. And thus the cycle of shit continues. It sucks. It's bad. But there's nothing you can do about it. And that's the problem. I hate it when they get involved in it. I can't stress that enough. But it freaking sucks. Flat out it sucks. Alright, so imagine my shock when I'm on Twitter the one morning and I see trending Jim Belushi. And I'm thinking, oh, great. Let me guess, 2020's claimed another one. No, this is actually a good thing. See, Jim Belushi wants your anime recommendations. Now, I honestly was a little shocked at this. And this is, by the way, this is his actual Twitter thing. This is his actual Twitter account, which I'm actually following. I didn't know he actually had one. There aren't a lot of celebrities that do actually have their own Twitter. Some are like fan ones that kind of just report off of other media sources. I found out recently, so that's kind of interesting. But he put out a tweet that said on December 28th, any anime fans out there, I always loved Studio Ghibli after I worked with them. However, I don't know much else. But I just saw your name and it blew me away. What is out there? Come on, some of you guys have to be nerds. Fess up. So, of course, I remember looking at this. It's like 5:58 p.m. on December 28th, according to the screenshot here. It had over 64.5 thousand likes. And 14.1 thousand people tweeting about it. And of course, this led to a whole bunch of, oh look, here's some recommendations, I even threw one in, but it's not in the article. These are like I'm assuming early ones. Yeah, some of them like 3:53 in the morning on the 29th. Some are like later on the night on the 28th. So, but I threw a couple in. There are some good choices here. I mean, you got Cowboy Bebop, A Silent Voice. One just has like their freaking, their anime collection on display. Neon Genesis Evangelion, Paprika, which is actually a very, very mind-altering one. Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, and Second Gig. Death Note. There's just a whole bunch of lists here. And people were so quickly to give some. There's one here that literally lists Grave of the Fireflies, Beastars, Silent Voice, Cowboy Bebop, Gankutsu, Death Note, Now and Then, Here and There, Vinland Saga, Dorohedoro, Black Lagoon. There's just so many. Even Steve Bloom, okay, put in something on here because one person tweeted about Cowboy Bebop is required in their curriculum. It's only 26 episodes, and if you're not a fan of subtitles, then good news. The English dub is actually really, really good. Thanks largely to at Steve Bloom. So at Bloom's Pew. I knew Steve Bloom actually did have a Twitter thing. And Steve Bloom replies back with, "Thanks for that, Tom. It's a beautiful piece and was long before we came to play. It was our mission to simply not screw it up." Which is true. Cowboy Bebop is actually a really unique saga in anime because it was literally a ragtag group of voice actors that literally came together, and their main goal was, let's not fuck this up. That was their mission. It's like, they just didn't want to fuck it up. And they blew it out of the park. And it was literally, it was a mismatch together of, this character, that was it. And it was beautiful. There's an entire art, like videos about this. It is basically what you consider a dumpster fire of a process that turned out so well and is so memorable, it isn't funny. And Steve Bloom was one of the best out of there. Hands freaking down. But yeah, I'll agree, Cowboy Bebop is a prerequisite. Wholeheartedly. If you ever want to get into anime, Cowboy Bebop's the way to go. But basically, he started asking. Now, for those of you wondering, he actually played in an English dub of a Studio Ghibli's thing. It was My Neighbor the Yamadas. He played Takashi Yamada in the English dub of the Studio Ghibli's film My Neighbor the Yamadas. I never saw it. In fact, I didn't even know it existed. It looks like I never even know it existed. But I just like that he's asking for recommendations. So, first off, Makoto Shinkai should take a lot of pleasure in knowing that the Your Name movie, damn, it is getting a lot more recognition now, even more so down the road than it did when it first came out. Especially if you're getting actors that are now seeing it going, holy crap, this is what anime is? Because when you say anime to anybody over the age of like 40, the first thing they think of is, oh, it's that thing with the large-breasted women, right? Yeah, it's porn, isn't it? No. God, no. It's an art style. It's actually quite good. Give it a chance. I'm serious. I just get a kick out of it, though. But within, like, before long, it was like a couple hours, I'm assuming, he had thousands of responses. I even threw my own in, like, when I saw it trending on Twitter, I threw my own response in. Mine was, it depends on your taste in the genre, because there's different genres. And I gave a couple, like you have like the high ones like Funimation, Viz. Basically you have like Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. You have some obscure ones like Eden of the East, Ride Back. I gave a couple suggestions. I mean, there's a laundry list that you could come up with if somebody ever asked you for anime recommendations. You could give them a laundry list. You could literally print them off a 55-page PDF Excel document, and that would just be scratching the surface of it. There are so many titles out there that you could give somebody a recommendation. It literally depends upon what they want to see and what they, what their preferences are. But it's impressive nonetheless. But seriously, I just got a kick out of that. It's like, yeah, we'll give you recommendations, and a lot of people have, and it was just that impressive. That quickly, that many responses come in, and it's like, holy shit! That tells you how many people are anime fans. And I said it before, back when we had the entire issue that happened with Kyoto Animation. You know that anime fans come together. Somebody wants to get involved in anime, we're there. It's like Batman. All of a sudden, the bat signal goes up. Only in this case, it's the anime signal. And every otaku and weeb is summoned. It's like we have a sixth sense. We can feel it. It's like the Thundercats symbol, almost. You're like, Lion-O is summoning the Thundercats. And all of us weebs and otaku just look up to the sky like, it's the symbol. We're needed. Weebs, assemble! Otakus, assemble! And we just like take off to help out wherever we can. Okay, I know it sounded stupid. But still, you get my gist of it. But it's still kind of impressive, though, that he's asking for recommendations. Like I said, I gave a couple. There's a lot more, but I know I gave Eden of the East, Ride Back, at least a couple of them. Eden of the East is a good one. Definitely one if you want like a slice of life, trying to understand things from a different perspective sort of series. It's not bad. Ride Back is actually pretty good though too. You got Fighting Foodons. Of course, the big four, if you ever really want to start off and get your feet wet, you got Dragon Ball, Bleach, Naruto, One Piece. There's just a whole mess of good characters and series that you can just start off with. Death Note, though, I said it long ago. I will say it again. Death Note is the type of series you go into when you have a few series under your belt. This isn't one that you jump into as your very first ever anime series. Now, if it was your first ever foray into anime, that's fine. You can't help it. It's fine. If it wasn't, wait till you have at least, I'd say, 5 or 6 series that you've completed under your belt. It's one of those prerequisites almost. Like, look, you want to take this class, you need to have these classes first. Only in this case, it's you need to have at least, 5 or 6 series that you've watched under your belt first. Then do Death Note. Death Note is not a beginner anime. I don't care if people keep saying, oh, it's a beginner. No, it's not a beginner's anime. It is in no way a beginner's anime. That is, you really need to understand anime to really follow that. Because all of a sudden, that one takes like 17 different turns, and they're anime-specific turns that it takes. Like, you can tell this is how an anime goes, but not every anime follows that same pathway. That's why I said this is one of those you need to start off by having a couple series under your belt first, then go into Death Note. That's literally how I see it. If you want to jump into Death Note, that's fine. You got to learn to, sink before you swim anyway. But still, that's my thoughts on it wholeheartedly. But yeah, it's really nice when people ask for recommendations. This shows you that there are people out there that are willing to give it. I mean, if somebody asks me for a recommendation on an anime, I'll ask them a couple questions first to try to narrow it down because I've seen a lot. But I'll usually give off a couple recommendations. Like, check out World Trigger. That's a really good series coming out. You got Dr. Stone, Fire Force, Soul Eater. There's a crap ton. But I'll usually try to narrow it down. First, I'll go like, well, what are you kind of into? You like slice of life stuff? Do you like, science fiction, horror, adventure? Try to narrow down like a good starting point for recommendations, and then go from there. Oh, well, you like slice of life with a bit of adventure. I would recommend these titles to start off with. Or, okay, you're into horror stuff. Oh, these titles over here might be your best bet. Or, okay, you kind of like the strange science fiction adventure type deals. I would recommend these titles, or at least like something from this genre to start off with, and go that route. But yeah, it's nice when people ask for recommendations. I'm not arguing that. I just think it was, freaking out of the blue for starters, but that was cool nonetheless. Yeah, I gave it. Did you? Anybody out there give Mr. Belushi any recommendations? Because, he was asking for them. Come on, otakus and weebs. Let's show that we're not a bunch of losers. I know we're not, but not everybody does. Alrighty, folks, and that's going to do it then this week for the absolutely, completely random podcast. But hey, you know what? It's been a lot of fun. And don't forget, I have a monthly Q&A that I do every month, hoping to still be able to do it for January, but who knows how things might go this month. But hey, submit your questions in the comment section of my videos. Don't forget to include parenthesis Q, ampersand A in capital letters, and then followed by another parenthesis again. And, that'll be fun. Don't forget to check out some of my other videos on here, like Andrew Rants, Andrew Discusses. Since my holiday time is finally over at work, I can finally jump back into doing a lot more videos. I'll now have the time to finally record them again. It's just finding the topics that will be the Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, Freddy Krueger, eat your heart out. It's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, that's going to do it then this week, though, for me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page. Check me out over on Twitter at OtakuRhodes. And until next time, my name's Andrew Rhodes. This is the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. I am out of here. Catch us all next week. Happy New Year, everybody. And woo! 2021! Yeah! Bye, everybody, and I'll see you all next week.